We are live. We're live and it's 5 minutes early. Whoop, whoop. Happy Thursday, everybody. Happy Thursday. Welcome to Happy Paper People on a happy Thursday evening. Hi, Margie. Hi, Sarah. Hi, Glennis and Jen, who are here. Good to see you guys. We wanted to go early so that the notifications would go out to people's phones saying, hey, Happy Paper People are live, so people could get in here and hopefully hear the beginning of it before we start. Margie, how you doing? Hey, Sarah. Sarah's been taking creative time every day and making something cool. I love that she does that. What'd you create today, Sarah?
Come here if you want to get up.
Oh, she probably got in and then went to get something to drink or something, thinking, oh, they won't be early. I still have 5 minutes. We are surprising everybody. We do have 7 people here now, although, you know, some of those might be us. But, okay, so, well, it's 5:57. I will wait until 6 o'clock to actually get started. Oh, she made clusters today. Awesome. Can't wait to see them. I'm sure you'll post them.
I lost my drink.
Clusters are fun. I just
no, you can't lose your drink.
No, I need that.
Yeah, we'll wait till 6 o'clock to actually get started. We'll just chat until it is 6. But we wanted to make sure that we could start at 6 because we've got a packed night. And
yes, fun.
I hope people really believed it when I said you've never seen a tag workshop like this before, because it's going to be different than anything we've ever done or anything I've seen. And hi, Leah. Hello. Good to see you. Have to keep an eye on weather. We're having tornado warnings and watches. Oh, no. Leah Brannon, good to see you. So we figured.
Where does she live? Is she in the Midwest? Where she does?
Sarah's in
Ohio.
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 Yeah, that's Midwest, isn't it? It's kind of the east, kind of east.
It's central. It's central, not central.
Yeah,
America.
it's north of me, pretty much. Yeah.
Yes, but there's a grouping of states that I actually looked this up because I looking at some of the states and going, no, why do they call that Midwest? That's really not in the middle of the country. And I forgot what it broke down to. Oh, I know what it was. Census regions. This is where that all came from. They have, you can find online, you can see the map and it shows you the little lines, and they had broken the country into census regions. So this is called the Midwest region. And that's why people refer to that as the Midwest, even though you're going, well, that's really pretty east, but it's not, it's Midwest. So yeah, she's in the Midwest. Hey, KK. Hello. Leah, we are so happy you're here for the first time. Are you in the Happy Paper Facebook group, or is this your first time all over with Happy Paper People everywhere? We hope you're going to have a fun time tonight. And I'll tell you, Leah, what I love. I love that you came in. It's your first time and you jumped right in the chat and said hello.
Yep.
Thank you for doing that. We love to meet new friends, and the only way we can meet people is when they jump in and say hello so that we can say hi back. And first time everywhere. Awesome. Well, what time is it? It's 5:59. You got 1 minute, or you can do it afterwards. There's a Happy Paper People Facebook group. It's a private group. Answer the 3 questions and you'll get in immediately. It's a private group because it is a safe place. It's a safe place to post your art. And it's a positive community, not competition. We believe in community, not competition. Hey, Linda O'Brien Tucci. I'm going to guess it's your first time too. So excited that you're here. Cool. All right, it's 6 o'clock straight up. We are going to get started. I know people are going to keep coming in, but we're going to get started. Linda, I think this is your first time on a live as well. Leah as well. Linda and Leah. It's the L night. I love it. Go join. Awesome. Margie will get you in right away because she's in chat. She's our admin handle in chat. And okay, Happy Paper People is a safe place. This is a place where we love creative people. We love all of the arts, all of the crafts. We do not discriminate on any kind of craft or art that people do because as creatives, we can be and are inspired by everything everywhere, right? So we have card makers and scrapbookers and quilters and junk journalers and ephemera makers and painters, everything. People who knit and crochet and sew. We just love it all. Oh, Casey, awesome. I don't know if he's working tonight. Maybe he'll get a chance to be here. Linda heard about us from Casey. That's sweet.
Nice.
So in Happy Paper People, we're going to review this really quickly because we only have a couple minutes before we get started. This is a perfect one to come in the first time too. We have a challenge going on in March in Happy Paper People Facebook group. And the challenge is for National Craft Month to make a tag a day. A tag a day. Now, you might not have time one day and you make 2 the next day. That's okay. But the idea is for us to try to carve out and create some creative time, a little bit of creative time each day, because that's healthy. It's good for our sanity, right? I just realized I forgot to put my non-glare thing over the top of this. I should grab it. Anyway, a tag a day challenge in March. And any size, any style must be a completed tag. A completed tag does not mean a pretty piece of paper on the tag, cut it out, put a topper on it. Doesn't take a whole lot of effort. We want people to reach outside their comfort zone. We are doing it as well. Admin is doing it with everyone. Learning to decorate, learning to try something new. If you don't like flowers, like DM, make something with flowers. Mm-hmm. If you don't like grunge, try grunge. You don't have to do it all month. Just try one. Do something you've never done before. Look through everybody else's. Get inspired. Try a technique maybe you saw somebody else do. Post the photos in the Facebook group because they are very, very inspirational. And that's how sometimes we get ideas and people go, oh, I never thought of that. I'm going to go try that. And that is not stealing an idea. That's sharing an idea. So we always appreciate that. The challenge goes right up to the end of the month, March 31st. So on March 31st or before, that it could be the day before, that morning, anytime, post one picture, one photo in the Facebook group showing all 31 of your tags. We know we won't be able to see the full, all of them, but you've been posting them in the group all along. So one photo that shows all 31 of your tags. Make sure you use the hashtag HPPMARTAG. They need to be in by that Sunday, the 31st. First thing Monday morning, all of those hashtags will get pulled, and all the photos that have the image with all 31 of your tags will go into the drawing. The drawing will be held that day, Monday. Monday at noon, we have Monday Jumpstart every Monday at noon Mountain Time. The time I give you is always Mountain Time because that's my time. So noon Mountain Time, Monday Jumpstart, we will draw for that. That is the prize drawing. April 1st. Oh, it's April Fool's Day. How fun. Oh, come on. Okay, so let me go back here and let me give you in just a minute or two a quick rundown of what we're going to do today. So we are halfway through the month, almost exactly halfway through the month. And I've heard a couple people say, running out of ideas for tags. Don't you dare, Marianne, Margie says. She's protecting y'all. If you're running out of ideas for tags, you don't want to keep doing the same thing, and maybe you're just not feeling like you're coming up with anything new. We wanted to do a special tag workshop to give you some new ideas for tags. But this is going to be a little bit different type of tag workshop. We have on panel with us today, Miss Sylvia. Sylvia, would you like to give a wave?
Hi.
There's Sylvia. We have Dawn Marie.
Hi, everyone.
We have Glynis.
Hello.
And we have Jen.
Hello.
They are all sitting at their desks, and they didn't get a lot of warning for tonight of what to do, but this is what I told them. I asked them to gather up around their desk all their scraps of paper, scraps of lace, ribbon, all the stuff that's sitting there, all the bits and bobs and little pieces, and we all have it running all over the place. Gather that all up, and we're going to make tags from scraps, but they don't know exactly what they're going to make or how they're going to make it. Okay. So what we're going to give you tonight is a foolproof formula for making tags. You can use this formula to make a tag, and you can use it every single day, and every tag will come out differently. Every one. So 5 of us are going to use the same formula. They're all going to come out completely different, and we will use the same formula all month long and get completely different tags. So it is time. First thing we're going to do is I'm going to ask them to choose a base. Choose a base for your tag. You can use anything you want, ladies. You may use cardstock, packaging, gel prints, wood, canvas, burlap, whatever you want. Flip through whatever's sitting around your desk and choose something that you want as your tag base for tonight. Now, let me see.
I'm going to use this
Packaging. Awesome. Ooh, it looks like it's just thick enough and not too thick.
Right.
I'm going to use this card. It did have a back on it, but I took the back off.
Oh, cool. Was that? I can't hardly tell what it is. Was it a greeting card or?
It was a card, like a note card.
Yeah.
A greeting card, and it looks like an old-fashioned radio.
Oh, that's neat. That would make a good tag. Okay.
Well, that just reminds me of you, DM.
Thank you. I think.
No, that's a good thing.
An old-fashioned radio.
No, it's just like something you'd, it reminds me of your style.
Does this Motley crew ever know what they're going to make? Nope. Most of the time they don't, Margie. But that's the whole point. That's the whole point in showing everyone that you really don't have to have a big plan. You don't have to have tons of instruction and ideas of how to do something. You can take a basic formula and make something really cool, and every single time. All right. So
I'm done.
okay, DM's got hers. Looks like Sylvia's got hers. Glennis has hers. Jen's tearing hers for the size to make herself a base. Motley Crew. That was kind of, I like it.
I know. Who called this Motley Crew?
Martin.
Glennis. Martin. Sorry. Oh, God.
Okay. While she's tearing hers to size, I want to tell you about the next step. They can be thinking about this. The step 2. And when this is all done, I'm going to take this document and put it in the files in the group. So you'll be able to go in there and print it out if you want. Somebody put a speed bump in front of Glennis. That's funny.
Well,
I told her she's only allowed to
there you go. There you go.
She's only allowed to do whatever step we're on. Okay, so choosing the base. The second step is the background. So everybody start thinking about what you want to do on the background. You might want to paint it. You might want to put some pretty paper on it. Glue a full sheet of paper. You might want a collage on it. You might want washi or fabric or spray it or stencils or what tissue paper, napkins, any of those things. You think about what you might want to do on your background. And we're going to take just a few minutes and we'll go ahead and do our backgrounds. Let's see. That's where I need this. Run here. And see. Oh, let me see.
Ooh.
I always have way too much sitting around my desk. What'd you say?
I said I found rice paper scraps.
Ooh, sweet.
Let's see. I'm really just cutting mine into a tag because the background is what I'm going to use it for.
Printed on it. Okay.
But I do have a question. If we wanted to put a different thing on the back, like if I want to put music paper on the back of mine instead of keeping it white, could that be part of the background right now?
Yes, and you could go ahead and do that now. That will give
Okay.
you to do both sides. Yep.
Perfect.
All right.
Are we attaching our background once we chose it?
Yep. We're taking a few minutes right now and actually doing our backgrounds because some people might need to paint, some will glue, whatever we're doing. And I'm always the slowest one here. So I'm already nervous. I'm already nervous on this part because I'm slow.
That's okay. Me too.
Sweet and slow.
Na,
Honey,
na, 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 na.
I like to craft with music. Sing to me, Jen.
There you go.
I actually like to craft and listen to books.
do
I can't
too.
believe you do that. That is so awesome. I can't believe you do that. That is so
Why?
cool.
Oh,
Because I can't pay attention and do stuff.
really?
That's the only way I could read because I feel like I'm wasting time if I'm sitting
Right.
down and actually
I
reading.
have time. I do too. And I feel like I'm indulging myself when there's so many things to do.
Yes. It's like doing things. Yeah. I feel like I need to do it.
I shouldn't allow myself that time to sit down and just read. So I listen to
Right.
audiobooks.
Yep. That's exactly what I do.
I just glued a piece of altered, oops, and I glued it wrong. I glued it with a line on down the edge. I'll have to cover this. This is a mistake I made. This white line, I will.
We're gonna-
There
That's
are
okay.
no
It just
mistakes.
shows that.
We all have this done. We're going to go from one to the other and you quickly show them on the base and you can say, oops, I don't like this. So I will somehow take care of this in my creation. And that's okay. You don't have to fix it right now unless it's part of your fix is going to be part of the base and you want to. If you can cover it with elements and whatever you're doing.
And that's kind of the beauty of this too, is being able to look at it and go, I don't really like that. And then, so what can you do with it next?
Mhm.
Right. I don't like it as well as I thought I would when I thought about putting it down. Oh,
I like that rice paper glue dries.
Oh, I love rice paper, don't you? I love rice paper.
I had some scraps left over apparently from the workshop, the book workshop, what did we call that? The shadow box that we did.
Shadow box.
Vintage library. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm finished.
Oh, wow.
I am almost done with my background.
I'm almost done.
I'm just stamping my background, and then I'll be done.
Okay. I need a glue that's going to come out faster than that. Okay, so give me a second. I'm going to make DM large screen, and you can show them your base, tell them what you chose and what you've done for the background.
Okay.
And there you go.
So all I did was I cut the corners off of the radio so it does look like a tag. And in doing so, I kept it because there's this little tiny thing here with a treble clef on it that probably I will use again. And then I added some music paper to the back so you would have a place to write, and also it also gives me space to add things too.
Oh, cool. I like that. Okay. Who else said they were done?
I'm done.
Okay.
I'm
we'll
almost
go
there.
Glynis. All right. All right, Glynis, go right ahead.
Okay, this is I took a piece of a jelly print I did the other day. I think it was Saturday we were doing jelly prints. I put it on a piece of cardstock, and I'll shape this with I have a punch to shape the top once I've got it ready. And then I just stamped it with this stamp in black ink, and that is my background. And this white piece here that's not supposed to be showing, I will cover up when as I start decorating it.
Cool.
Nice.
All right.
Excuse me.
Sylvia, are you ready? Bless you.
Thank you.
Yes, bless you. Yes, I took a magazine You know those coupons where they want you to subscribe and you postage free? That's one of those tuck-ins in the magazine. They're perfect tags. In my stash, I always keep these gessoed on one side, plain on the other. So I put my cardstock on one side. I sprayed the gesso side with some coffee stain. I may or not have time to do the other side, but this is my substrate.
Very cool. I like it. Like it a lot. All right. Jen,
All
are
right,
you
I'm
ready?
done enough to show you. I'm
Okay.
just going to glue on a piece. So I have that piece of packaging and just the back, and on the side that had no images, I glued on a piece of rice paper. But beforehand, I just took my archival ink because I didn't want it to move from where I put it in the copy, because I decided to go grunge on this one. And then I'm just going to glue this piece of paper for journaling space on the back, and I will probably coffee dye around the edge, not coffee dye, but do the ink around the edge of that before I glue it down. And that's it for my base.
Cool. Well, base is just the background, just the base that you're gonna, or just the background that you're gonna build on, right? So
Right.
Yeah. Okay. So I decided to just use a piece of file folder, and I don't know yet what I'm gonna do in the corners, so I just made it rectangular. So there's file folder, and then I took some. Yeah, I'm gonna have to trim that off because I didn't close enough to the edge. I took some vintage papers and just collaged them on the top. That's all I did for my base. All right, so background. The base is the tag. The background we just put on. All right. So the next thing, are you guys ready for this? I know you've got all kinds of things at your desk. So I want you to look around, look through all those little containers of things sitting at your desk, and choose 3 elements.
Oh
3
boy.
things that speak to you right now that you would like to use on this tag. And what you did is your background and help you look at maybe what color or what style, but any 3 elements that you want to use. So guys, if you're unsure about different ways to make tags, I really do want you to pay attention to this process, because you're going to see how this works every single time. Pick your base, put a background on it, then look around and pick 3 elements. 3 elements that you want to work with. Okay, I've got 1. And
Of course, they didn't put any of the singers on the box for me to cut out.
aw. How rude.
I know.
Don't mess with DM's process.
2. Oh, you know what? I've been down to use these. All right, I've got my 3 elements. Okay, if you've got your 3 elements, let me know. I'll take the camera first to show my 3 elements. I've decided I've got a bunch of pictures here, so I went through and I grabbed a photo. I'm going to use that as 1. And these little teeny tiny flowers, that's my second one. Maybe I'll use more than 1. I don't know. So I just pulled the bag out, sitting in my bin. And DM gave me this last year, little teeny tiny thing full of all these cute little teal and white buttons. And I've been dying to use them. So there's some teal right here in the text. So I think I'm going to use those. All right, DM, you ready?
Yes, ma'am. So I got something today, and I really like this woman here, and I think that she might fit on the back of this, and I will probably draw some sort of music on that, but she sort of goes with the theme. This is a see-through piece of, which is why I put it on this.
Acetate. Cute.
Acetate music that it comes as a card game, and you're supposed to be able to make your own music with this music maker.
Wow.
This was a bin store I find.
Wow.
And so I'm going to use, I took 1 out, but I may end up using more than 1. And then
Cool.
I took out the Billie Holiday coin from the game that I got at a thrift store about women who, what is it called? women icons, women who play to
Oh,
win.
nice. Yeah.
So
Billie
those
Holiday.
are my 3 things.
Sylvia, do you have your 3?
Yes.
Okay, go for it.
I'm using dictionary paper. And my 3 elements are some punched out little things that I have in my stash and a clock face.
Sweet. Okay. Glynis, your 3 things.
Okay. I want to pick up the green and the black on this, and I want to make it geometric. So I picked out just different shapes that are black and green, and I'm going to cut them, and then I have a piece of white doily to emphasize for contrast.
Nice. Nice. Okay, Jen.
Okay, I might be ready. I have this bucket, so I keep this thing near my desk. Anything that's a scrap goes in there. I think I'm going to use actually some leftovers also from the workshop, and I'm going to cover one of these in a piece of dictionary paper, and then I have this canvas thread, and I have this purple paper that I might use as a ruffle, or I might use this depending on what goes better. So I'm just going to compare these 2 pieces of paper. So those are kind of my 3. I was toying with this as a piece of string, so I'm not sure which string.
That's kind of cool. Okay,
String,
so go ahead
ruffle,
and start
and
using your 3
dimensional.
elements. Oh, wait a minute. Nope, wait a minute. Now, we've all chosen the elements, right?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so now nobody do anything.
Nope.
We are going to mute everyone except one person at a time. Here's the big deal, guys. Here's where you really want to pay attention. We are going to go into their craft room, their studio, one by one, and we are going to get to be a fly on the wall and watch and listen to each one of these ladies one by one, walk through their process of how they're going to decide what to do with those 3 elements on their tag. Let's start. Glynis, do you want to start?
Sure.
We can start with Glynis. So we're all going to mute. If you can't do it on your phone, I can mute you from here. Just let me know. We'll be in chat if you guys have any questions. And Glynis, we're going to ask her to think aloud so that we can just hear her process. Go for it.
Okay. Just going to randomly put these on at first just to see what colors go together. The first thing that I'm seeing is with this white and this black, I don't want this white strip here. So I'm going to cut that off. I don't want that much white, and I'll have the doily to add later. So I will need to arrange these now. So I don't want to lose the green. So I don't want to cover the green totally. And I want to have the black on each side. I don't know if I want the black on each side of the white. I might put the black going across. But if I do that, I have to remember I've got this doily to put in somewhere. And to me, I got too much pale here. So I'm going to make that white a lot smaller. And I want the black more predominant. So I'm going to see about putting the other black on this side. I like that better, except I'm losing my background. So I might, I think what I'm going to do is just make everything a bit smaller. So the top and bottom show. So there's 4 elements there. And I think I'm going to put this, I'd like to put it in the corner here, but I want the rounded bit out. Just have a corner of it showing there. And now I don't like the doily. The doily's going by, and I'm going to take this other piece of black that I've got here and put another black on the other side of the green and move everything over a bit so I have a little more of the black. I like that composition a lot better, and I think I'm okay to start gluing it down. Now, should I do that, or is that the next step?
go ahead. You're going to do your 3 elements and whatever you need to put them down and do that
Okay.
and stop. You're good.
I'm just going to take off my ends, make sure my ends are fairly straight. I'm not too good at measuring. I like to just, like I ripped these earlier, but I'll even them out now. Try and make that better.
I like what you're doing. While she's gluing them down, I want to just draw your attention. Notice how she had these 3 elements, and when she got in the middle of laying them down, she decided she didn't like that doily with it, even though she thought she would. But once you're in the middle of it, if you don't like it and you say, but this would go really well here, that's great. Swap it out. Swap it out. The 3 elements give you a place to start, and you'll know whether they're going to work or whether you need something else in place of it. But either way, you're going to come out with something you like. You won't glue it down if you don't.
I can see I'm going to have a problem in that I want this in the middle now, but I'm going to have, I'll put that over, this little spot there. So I might cut that all the way across, or I might just put something down there for that white strip that shows. But right now I'm just going to layer each piece one by one with my, using Barely Arts. I'm going to have them very symmetrical right down the middle. Oh, that doesn't small enough. Now I'm going to have to make this one a little bit smaller too. I like doing geometric shapes on a lot of mine. I just find them very appealing and nice to look at. And then this guy will be the end one. Cut it about there. Put glue on the back, not the front.
That's my trick.
And I'm going to have to get rid of this edge here. And then I'm going to...
So she's not finished. At this point, she's using the 3 elements she chose, but she's not finished with the tag. She's just finished with... Or are you finished with the 3 elements that you chose?
With the elements, but I'm not finished with the tag. No.
Correct. Yep. No, we don't want to go to the finishing of the tag. We just want to go to the 3 elements. Okay, so hold that up close so they can see it. That's really cool. Is that a gel print on the back?
That's a gel print that I did on Saturday, and I've stamped in black these circles on top of it. So I wanted to have that showing. I didn't want to cover it all, and I brought the green in here and then the black and white here.
Definitely want it to show because that looks really cool.
My starting point.
So she's not complete. This is not a complete tag, but this is her placement of the 3 elements. So let's go over to DM. DM, you'll be next. Be a fly on the wall in her room. Unmute yourself before you start talking.
Well, yeah. So while Glennis was working, so you guys didn't need to see me fussy cutting, I did cut, we'll call her Molly, out of this. And then I just had her laying here, and I actually noticed, I also cut out the word marvelous and this little one that says as seen on TV, because I think that's hilarious. I was looking at how big this one was, and these came with another cover, another one of these. So after I cut her out, I looked at this, and there was a smaller girl, and it will take up less room. So I've decided that I'm going to use the smaller girl, I think. But we'll see, because on the back, I could also put the big girl on the back, you know, as like a tuck or something to that effect. So what else I'm thinking of here is I would like her to be coming out of the music. So what I'm going to do is, this is really thick and I don't need it that thick. So I'm going to peel off part of that. There we go. I did grab this, but it doesn't match. And I was thinking, could I put it like hanging off the bottom? Or could I put it with her up here as like the topper with the flower behind it? But once again, that pink flower is not working for me because it is pink. So the other thing I have here is this. Now, what I'm going to do with this, and I know I'm going to have to do it, and I'm going to do it with a, where did I put it? I have to cut this down because I don't want these black things right here. So, and really the only part I want on this is the music itself. So hopefully this will cut it. If not, we'll see. I am going to put the, see, the second line. Yay, it worked. The second line on the line of the, actually, well, I need it to hold it because I don't want to cut my fingers. Second line on the ridge there, and that way it gives me enough to pull it down. So that gives me some music. The other thing I like with this is that the music could be coming off of it like that. And it could be like a dangle if I put a hole in there and I round these. And then I put Billie Holiday up there. But then she's purple. Which really doesn't go. So, oh, and you know what? I really like this down here. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to round the edges on this because I don't want, they look like they're pointy and they're going to hurt somebody. And I'll just round that. If it works, sometimes they don't. And look, it gives me the idea of rounding, and I'll just cut them myself. Sometimes it doesn't, these things don't work for rounders, but I've done this before and I just use the idea of the rounded corner to cut it. There we go. Okay. And like that. And like that. And like that. Okay, and I want to make sure that I can get this to swing like that. So I want to make sure I do the hole at the same time. So I'm going to actually put the hole, where's my hole cutter? There it is. And I always make sure, I'm going to want the bigger hole on this because I really don't know how I'm going to put it on. And I know that small hole won't work. So I am going to put this like that. And let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4. So I counted to make sure that I was going to get it in the middle of the right line. And I have it lined up and I'm going to smush it. Okay. So that gets that portion right there. Let's see, Marvelous. I'm going to glue down there, but let's see. Sometimes this stuff doesn't glue on the acetate very well, and I'm hoping it does. If it doesn't, I have a little idea behind it. I'm going to put this on here. I'm going to put Marvelous on there. And then I'm going to turn it over because nobody wants to see that white there. I'm going to grab, nope, because it's pink and it doesn't go. I'm going to grab something to put it on the back. This will actually go. So I'm just going to cut a really small piece of paper off my desk. And I'm just going to try to catch, nope, that's not right. I'm going to try to catch the edges here enough, but keep it below the white line, just so it sort of catches it. You know what I'm going to do? I'm just going to, sometimes when I do this, I just have to glue it down and then cut it later. Just to make sure that I cut it right. And what that's going to do is it's at least going to stick paper to paper for that one piece, and hopefully it will stay on the acetate. And then I will trim that off. So it says Marvelous. Let's see, the little lady right here. If we have this hanging off of here, I think she might be able to, well, I don't really like that Molly and Rex thing there, because I'm not sure who that is. And I think that if I put her right there, it sort of is bringing a little bit of, retro fun to this. So I am going to glue her there over the Molly and Rex. And remember I said I saved that as seen on TV? I actually think I might put the as seen on TV on her little banner here. And I did not fussy cut this. I just cut it off of the thing. And this is sort of like, just like a joke saying, everything's as seen on TV. And it doesn't have to fit perfectly. I'm just going to throw it on. Oop, dropped. And the red goes in with that. Now we still have Billy here. Oh, she heard her name. My dog's name is Billy too, so she sort of wondered what was going on, Mommy. I think because it's purple and I really need it red, I'm actually going to grab a red acrylic marker here, and I'm just going to start coloring to hide the purple. That will end up going up here on the top, so if anybody else needs to start theirs, and you're okay with me coloring while they're going, that's fine.
Okay, is that your last thing for your 3 elements?
Yes.
Okay, you can keep doing that then. Let me point out a couple things. She mentioned she was going to glue something down, and she might go back and cut it down later. That's a really good point. You can glue something down and just put a spot of glue on one spot of it, so it leaves it for you to be able to tuck something in later or cut it down later. You don't have to glue all the way around all the edges and put everything down firmly and finally when you first put it down. And the other thing that she's doing now is she really likes this element, but she doesn't like the color that it is. So she's just changing it. Lots of ways to change color depending on what the content of the thing, whether it's on plastic or paper. So, all right. Jen, are you ready?
Yeah, I think so.
We will go on to Jen.
Okay, so I was really riveted by DM, so I'm not super ready, but I'm ready enough. So I saved this cutting piece because I had these 2 pieces in my scraps with this 45-degree angle because it was left over from the shadow box, and I thought I like the dimensionality, so I took this one and I narrowed it significantly so that it will have, you'll see it later. So I'm just going to take this 3rd piece and I am going to cut that at a pre-marked place at a 45-degree angle really quick here. And it's going to look super dangerous, but promise I'm careful. And that way they all match. So this I'm going to put on here and then on here. And I get this, and I don't know if I like this placement, but I do want this as a 3-dimensional element on there. But I don't really like it to be just plain old craft. So I'm going to cheat and coat it with, I'm just using glue stick because it's fast. You can use pretty much any glue here. If you use a wet glue, you just have to give it time to dry so that the wrinkles will go away. And then I'm going to clip around there. Where's my scissors? There they are. I'm not going to coat both sides of this because I'm going to end up probably gluing it down. I just want enough on there that I can wrap it around. I'm sorry, I'm moving too fast. Okay. So hopefully this glue is actually coming out. Yes, okay. I was afraid it wasn't working. I think it's some just some art glitter glue that I put in a small bottle because I didn't want to mess with the big bottle at the time. And I really am not super worried about the corners. Again, this is just kind of coating the surface of it. And I think I'm just going to tear that off really quick and then round that portion. And to kind of match the theme of this, I'm just going to give the edge some dimension. And I kind of like the look of that. So I will continue to do that with the others, but I think on this middle piece, while I use, glue stick, I'll probably use a different color around the edge of it. Thinking maybe a teal if I've got one, because it kind of matches some of the colors, or green inside the tag. We'll see. And I may have to go all the way around on this one only because it's so small. We shall see how that goes. And like I said, I'm not really caring too much. I'm just looking for mostly the texture of the text in the background. And I did put glue stick on the back just so that I could wrap it faster so I don't have to glue it and waste your time. Okay. And I do a lot of auditioning when I'm doing this, where I try things out and then I go, I really hate that, so I'm not going to do it again. And I cannot, I can't find the color I want, so I'm going to do this. I'm going to do purple. And I know that sounds kind of crazy, but I'm just going to do purple. And I don't mind exploring with color. I'm good with that. And I'm just going to dampen it down with a tiny bit of the brown so that it gives it a little bit of a, oh, and I coated, see, look, I make mistakes because I was hurrying. I'm going to now coat the correct side of it so that it actually has the angle going the right direction. I am trying to hurry a little bit because I'm a super slow crafter.
I am too, but you're actually totally fine. So
okay,
do what you do.
Okay, so I'm just going to do the same thing I did before because that was like really fast. I'm just going to coat the edges with the glue and wrap this. I'm just going to repeat that process that I did earlier. And yes, my hands are sticky, but I keep baby wipes on hand all the time because I don't like having glue on me all the time. And I love color, so I do not feel bad about using color in places. I'm just kind of looking for a color that is sort of matching the colors in this tag, or the feeling of the colors in this tag. I'm not really being super specific. Okay, there's that one. And then I had one more. I don't think it's that one. I think it's this tiny one. All right, let's coat the right side of this time.
I hope you guys are picking up on how they're taking scraps and just bits of stuff off their desk and how they're transforming it to be a cool element and how they're arranging them on the tags.
This was a scrap because I punched holes for something else. I think it was when we did the HPP box with the charms and stuff that we were making. I think I put dictionary page behind some of the charms in one of them. Okay, and then I'll just go with the brown on that one to match the one in the back. And I think this is actually a little bit stark, so what I might do is take this back one and just knock it back a tiny bit so that it's still there. It still stands out, but it's not terribly so. And then this middle one, I can make extra dark and see how it gets rid of the color I was auditioning, but that's okay. I don't mind that. And that one has some contrast with the one behind it, and then leave this one mostly light. And then it'll stand out as well. And I think as far as the string goes, I do like this canvas better than the other green string I was looking at. So I'm going to throw the green string back in my bucket. And as for the canvas, I am really just looking for texture here. I don't want to like draw out the string and, you know, try to figure out, oh, how do I lay this down where it's actually going to work for me? So I'm going to choose just a section of it and not worry about whether or not it's all meeting together, because that'll get glued down. So now the third element is the piece of paper. And I think I'm going to choose this dark, maybe this dark corner. I don't know. It's so hard to choose, Marianne.
I don't know. Especially that paper, because the dark corners are amazing.
The inside is still the same color, but it's lighter. Okay, and I know that's bigger than I need, but that's okay. I am going to, I think I'm going to bring this up a little higher because I want it to stick out above the other elements. And I want this edge dark. I am going to use something that's not the same. How about the scorched timber?
Cool.
Let's see how scorched timber looks against this turquoise. And again, this is a grungy tag. I don't always do grungy. I just figured it would be a nice quick thing I could do. And grungy is not for everyone, so I wouldn't be offended if you don't like it. I'm going to leave the bottom alone because I may actually tear that later. And let's just, I think I like the size. Wait. Let's just double check. I want to come repeating this angle. So I want this to stick down. Actually, I want this to stick off. See, changing my mind here. I like the way that is coming off the tag. So then I'll have that one as a third. And I think I'm also going to change my mind again and darken the center one even further because it's not enough contrast for me. So I'm just going to use the scorched timber because that's another layer of the brown. And then I have an archival black right next to me as well. This big giant thing is going to be interesting. I'm going to get all inky. I could use a dauber, but
faster.
This is weird. Yeah, this is faster. There we go. It's hard to see that it's really dark, but it's pretty dark.
Oh, yeah.
It's still a little wet. So I'm taking these three things and I'm going to see, I like that much better as far as a contrast. And I think I don't want that to be where I have it. And I want to move this over so that it's more of a suggestion. And so now I'm just going to glue this down first. I think I'll use this same glue. That's a little trick I like to do, is use my fingernail to curve the paper in the direction I want it to go. Trying to decide if I want it up or down. I think I like it right there. And I will say that, you know, the one thing that grunge does do for me sometimes is that it's forgiving. When I put something down and I really hate it, I can really change it if I need to. All right, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to just kind of lay some glue. This is Fabrifix glue in the general area that I want this bunch of string to lay, just so that I can affix it really simply. And I'm just going to kind of manipulate it into a shape. And I think I might spread it and stretch it. And then what I'll do is come back later and dot glue underneath the areas that aren't laying and staying where I want them. I do like the way that these strands are hanging off the bottom of the tag. And now I'll just glue down my 3 elements. I'm just going to use Fabrifix. It's quick. It grabs quick. And I have a large room, so it's not stinking me out. Whoop. Good enough. Sorry if I was a little off camera. All right, where on here do I want this? Okay, not quite at the bottom, but not centered is where I decided. And then this one, well then. Nothing like a little squeaky glue. And this one, same thing, not quite centered, but not quite at the bottom. I think I'll scoot this down just a tad. I want the ratios to look kind of balanced. That's where I'm going, what I'm going for. All right, so there's the 3 elements glued down. It's not finished, finished tag yet, but it's
not
ready,
finished
it's ready for the next level.
But you've got, yeah, but you've got the 3 elements that you chose put on there. Awesome. Thank you. And you notice how she changed along the way? She's like, that's not dark enough. Nope, still not dark enough. That, you know, that's totally okay. And as she tore it, she said bigger than she thought she needed, the blue piece of paper. That's because you can keep tearing it down, but you can't add more. In the end, she used exactly what she tore. So good thing she didn't tear it smaller, thinking she only needed smaller. She gave herself a little space. Sylvia, are you ready, Sylvia?
Okay, yes, I just unmiked. So in all of my years of crafting, I think you ladies know that I'm a writer. I like to write. And what is a writer like? Letters. So I always have book pages. I have stacks of them. Some of them are already painted. Some of them are stamped. So my 3 elements, I chose 2 pieces, a dictionary page, tore it in half. The edges can be irregular, but the deal with this is you can place them this way. You can place them the other way, of course, inked. You can place them down the middle, but I find that this works for me. I'm going to put them here because I chose the 3 elements, but I changed my mind, which I can. So I'm going to glue these down real quick. Won't take long. And then I'll decide where I may or may not put my 3rd element. Excuse me. Now, I'm going to have to trim. Once I put my dictionary paper down, I will be trimming. But for now, all I want to do is just put this stuff down. And that way I can look at it. I don't measure like most of us. That's a choice, like most of us have. So I'm going to leave this alone for right now, and I'm going to put the top on. And now I want to decide how much room do I want to give myself in the middle? Because I thought maybe a dragonfly. I had originally picked these, but if I'm
What
going
are
to
those?
use these, yes,
What are those? I can't see. What are those?
these are just little punch outs. I
Oh,
have in
okay.
that the little tray that you gave us, or we
Mhm.
purchased from HPP
That's
Create.
okay.
All of these little things, and I have these pre-punched, and they just happen to go with this. But I really liked my little dragonfly. It's torn. It's not in the best condition, but
There's a
I'm going to give
question.
myself just enough space to put it right in the middle.
What
Maybe.
glue are you using? They would like to know.
I'm using Yes Paste. It's like a glue stick, but it's in a jar, and I just spread it on.
Do you like it?
Instead of having it's working for me, because it's like a glue stick. I don't have to wait. Well, you don't have to wait for art glitter glue to dry. That dries fast, but some other glues you have to wait.
Yes.
And I wasn't in that line where they were handing out patience.
The waiting line.
Yeah.
Yeah. When it comes to
I
crafting.
and when it comes to crafting, you know, I will take my time when I want to do something different. Now, this is my go-to. This is what I do with most of my tags, because tags like this allow me to have something pretty on top. Then on the back, I can write or maybe cover something up. So now I have this. So now I can really sit down and choose, do I want to put the dragonfly, or am I going to put her like this? Or do I put these guys in the middle? And I can always put a letter over them. That would be really easy. It's a good play, right?
Yes.
But I really like my dragonfly.
Can you do both?
And it's kind of delicate. So it's going to take me just a bit, especially to push this glue around. And I might just go with my art glitter glue.
What if you pushed her left and put some of those other elements with her?
Well, I'm going to try that because I'm going to try that. But first, I want to get her down. I want to figure out where I'm going to put her anyway. Are dragonflies females? Or are they guys?
Depends. If they're ours, then they're female. I don't know.
Neither do I. I know they don't live very long.
I didn't know that. That's sad.
Okay, so now I'm really not too particular about where I'm going to place her. I just want her in here. So where she falls is where she's going to lay, because she's very delicate. I don't remember what kind of paper this is. Probably some kind of tissue paper. Look at, she's so pretty.
Yes, she is.
So now, and you know, she's just a throwaway paper. You know, we're supposed, you know, when you wipe your brushes or stuff like that. So now maybe I can put something around her, but now I have to decide this side. No, that's more vintage. This has more color. This has lace. Sorry you can't see that, but that's got some green. It'll keep the yellow going. And now it's, where do I put them? Top, bottom? Doesn't matter. So I'm just going to do it. And there we go. I'm done. Who's next?
Go ahead, put him down. You got time.
Okay.
You got time.
Well, and I think when you're in a hurry to do, this can work for a thank you card, a tag, or to from. You know, it's
great idea.
It works. And you can do it you can do it straight lines. They don't have to be torn lines. It can be straight lines, vertical, horizontal. You can do your lettering up on top. You can do it on the bottom.
It's a great idea.
Choice is yours. But this is a system that I like. It works for me. If I do some like I did for Christy, that I used the graphic 45 and went out of my element there. Yeah, that one took me a little bit more time, but there you go. Now I can.
Awesome. Thank you. Okay, so now
yeah.
Go ahead. Go ahead and finish your speaking.
I can either outline when it's time to embellish, or I can drop some other stuff on, but now at least there's the base.
Perfect. Perfect. Good job. Thank you. DM, did you get your color thing finished? I'll pop back to you and you can show them. But you have to unmute.
Okay. So I did finish coloring around it, but of course her name has to stay in the purple, which is fine. The other thing I did is I was looking around my desk to see what else I had. And I said I was going to put her up here, but I actually think I'm going to have her dangling off the Marvelous. Thank goodness both pages of that thing had Marvelous on it, because then I'm going to be able to put it over that and hide the string that I'm going to use under Miss Billy.
Great idea.
So I'm going to take it off of this because I don't want this to get glued. I'm going to cut a piece of black glue, a black ribbon or string. And I'm going to just glue this in the center. Come on, baby. And I'm going to rub the glue all around because I have to put Marvelous down too, but I'm going to put this like that. And you know what? I think I might pull another piece. I don't know whether I want it to come all the way to the middle. I think I just want it to go to there. And then I'm actually going to put another piece on this, I think. And if I decide not to do what I'm going to do with this, I can always cut them off at the end.
Brilliant.
I'm going to put another one there too. Because I have an idea for finishing up touch. And then I'm going to put Marvelous over this. I'll put some more on this. And then I'll do that. So that needs to glue down and hold those pieces of
string in
place for me to place Miss Billy on. I need to find a back for this, which I thought this would work, but it's not going to. So let's find some red or something that will be a good background for that. I got this. It's a little pink, but nobody's really going to see the back of that very much. So I'm just going to use this piece of paper here really quickly. Oh, wait a minute. You know what? I bet I have one almost that size, if not 2 inches, that's already got some color on it. And like before, I'm going to get a bigger one so I can cut it down because I don't mind cutting things down. Let's see what I have in here. Oh, look, that's got record stuff on it. Perfect. How about that? I didn't even know that one was in there, to be honest. I did punch out a whole bunch of things and labeled them, and I have them in these little bags that I keep hanging.
Labeled them by size. That's awesome.
Yeah. So
you just punch them out of scraps?
Yep, I punched them out of scraps. So we
Then you don't
know
have
that
to
Billy's
stress.
going to hang in the middle. She's got to hang like this. So this is going to go on the back. I am just going to put 2 lines down to hold the thread. Okay, and then I'm going to put a line down the center to hold Miss Billy. And then what I'll do is I'll wait for it to dry. And hope it will hang straight and hope it will, not be off joint. And then just going to put it down like that. And then I'm going to wait for the glue to dry so then I can cut off. Like, I'm going to leave these here because who knows? What if I want to dangle some pearls or some bling there or in my final touches?
Okay,
So
so we'll let
that's
hers dry.
Yep.
And am I the only one left?
Yes,
Okay,
I believe so.
let's do my elements and then we'll move to the next step. Okay, so this is my tag base. I just collaged some vintage papers on it, and I should have put it under heavy book and make it flat. So my elements were this picture that I chose, and the teal buttons, and these little tiny white flowers. So I glued a few of them in the center so they'd have a chance to kind of dry while everybody else was going. I fussy cut a couple things out while sitting here, just so we don't have to waste time fussy cutting. But I'm not sure, because let's see. So I want to use this picture. I don't want it to take up the whole thing, and I don't want it to be just by itself. I feel like I need some lace under it or around it or something like that. So I'm going to grab, I had a couple over here. Let's see, there's a long one that's kind of cool. Here's some pieces that might be bad. I know I've got multiples of those that could stick out here or there. Got some flat stuff. Nah, no butterflies. Do that for margin. There's some, here's some coffee dyed lace. That might be good. Okay, let me see. There's, that might be a little too dark. That's coffee dyed, but pretty dark. Don't think I want pink. Maroon. There's some rickrack. There's a tiny bit of eyelash trim. A little flower. I'm sorry, silk. Oh, there's a piece of fabric that is well over 100 years old, literally just falling apart. Maybe I can use some of that. So let me get that back out of the way. So when you start, you use the formula and you pick your 3 elements, and then as you're going, you say, okay, I like this element and I feel like I need this to add to it. It's okay to add other things. The 3 elements give you a place to start. So how do I want this picture? Do I want to cut it down even farther? Do I want something to be underneath it and then have it right side, wrong side? Sometimes it's so hard to tell. Like that. Okay. Or I want to use some of this 100-year-old fabric that is literally just falling apart. It might not look dainty enough for these gals. I don't know. Maybe I can do something with that. I kind of liked one of these over here. Maybe 2 of them don't need to be the same size. There was like a little one there, and then I'm gonna cut one of these down. I've got 3, so I could cut one down, and if I wanted the bigger one, I could go back to that. So do that. I don't really want to see the edges of these though. And it's just awfully pale. Everything is awfully pale. If I backed it with, gave it like a little frame. I could go with this color, which is very much the same as that and very much the same as those buttons. Does the picture need the darker or the lighter? I think I did. That's really hard to tell on such a big piece. Will these buttons still go? Yeah, they would go with that. Okay, I'm just going to go for it. Glue it on the dark one. Okay, so I'm not going to glue everywhere. I'm just going to put glue in the middle, just in case I want to stick something underneath it. I don't know if I will want to or not. I'm not even sure how big of a frame I want. Probably not terribly big, just enough that it is framed. Okay. All right, so let me trim that up. Straight. That on straight. If it's not on straight, I just keep trimming until they're all straight. Okay. A little bit of a hook coming out the corner. Just put something over them. There we go. All right. OCD about the straightness of the edge. Well, you know, sometimes I want it to be straight. Other times tear it and don't really care. Okay, so let's try this again with a little bit of color backing and see if that helps here. Put a small one. Right side up here. We could even put another small one just barely coming off of here, the right side. Yep. Just right to that edge. I don't even have to use all that underneath. When I get them situated, I can cut all the stuff off that's going way underneath it and just let it tuck under just a bit. Like that. Okay. And then let's see, my other two elements are the flowers and the buttons. Let's see. I didn't really want to put one in each corner. That's not the idea, but I also kind of like to cover up corners. I fussy cut these just because I saw that the colors would go, not knowing if I actually use them. Okay, and then a couple little birds. I cut this bird's legs off, which means he has to go right underneath something or be sitting on something and then have something in front of him. Maybe camera's up here and this bird sits on top of the camera. Bird, bird, bird is the word. Okay, he could sit on top of the camera up there. And maybe I don't want them to be straight. Maybe they want to be a little bit crooked. Picking these up. Okay, so then they're a little crooked. The camera's up here. And the bird is balanced right there up on the tip of the camera. And this guy's out here. I'm not going to stay in the exact place until I glue him down anyway. And it's kind of really a succulent. Not that it really goes with that, but let's see. It's right there. We can add some other things later. That part of the finishing touches, but I need to get these the three elements that I chose down. Just deciding which way I want them to be flopping. This way. Definitely this way. Okay. All right. So how much of that? I'm not going to show all of that. And it just makes it big and awkward underneath. So let's cut that off. And we're not going to show all of that one either. And I want to make sure I don't cut it too high and then the part that I've cut sticks out both sides. So if I know about where I'm going to put it there, then I can just hold it in place and come back here and cut off the excess that would be hidden. Okay. All right, so I'm going to put just a blob of glue in the center of this. Pretty big blob, but I want to kind of it to hold in place. Yet I want to still be able to tuck these things underneath it. So I've got a blob in the middle. Okay. I'm not doing the outside edge because I can come back and stick some underneath there if I want to. I don't remember exactly how much would be hanging off, and so I don't want to put more glue than I need. Give me plenty of time to move that around. And let's do a little bit on this one. I don't know, it's kind of just weird. Kind of weird too. Oh, I guess down here it is. At least the heavy part is on the bottom. And I can glue the rest of this picture down later as well. But my other two elements, I'll deal with all the other stuff later. But right now, the other elements are I don't want these in every corner. Maybe I get 3 in that corner. Or compare if 3 are up top. Does it look like it's top heavy? If I put them on the bottom, is it better weighted? For some reason, they just look better up on top, I think. Yeah, I do like that better. I can add other things. Okay, I'm going to glue them down since they're my part of my 3 elements that need to go down. Oops. Don't stick to me. I'll lose all in the wrong place. It dries clear. No worries. Yeah, I guess I should have pulled out Fabri-Tac for these little crocheted flowers. It absorbs it and then it doesn't stick. Fabri-Tac or hot glue would have stuck fast. Okay, so I've got 1, 2, 3, my 3 elements. My 3 elements are on. Okay, so that's where I'm going to stop with my 3 elements on. All right, so everybody's got their 3 elements on. So let's go back. Go ahead and unmute yourselves. That was step number 3. Choose 3 elements. Oh, it's step number 4. Step number 3 was to choose the 3 elements. Step number 4 was to place the elements, which we all just did. Now there's one last step before we can call it done, right? Because you all said, well, it's not done. I've used those 3 elements, but it's not done. So what would be your last thing? I picked 3 elements. I used 3 elements. Now what is left is the finishing touches. This is where I think a lot of people get hung up and say, all right, I followed that plan, that formula. I got 3 things down. It just doesn't feel right or complete or done to me. So let's go. Let's see where we are on time. Okay, we have about 5 to 7 minutes per person. And hopefully you've been thinking about your finishing touches as you've been sitting here watching everybody else. Let's go one at a time and get your finishing touches so that they can watch you decide. Glynis, go ahead. They can watch you decide what you want to do for your finishing touches to come out with a completed tag.
I like having lace and trim on anything I do. So I've grabbed this green lace. I'm not sure where I want to put it yet, and I've been looking for things here that are green, and I found some green wax seals. They're kind of greeny yellow, but I actually made these. These are the first ones I ever made at the retreat last April. I also have a bag here of a lot of stuff. When I fussy cut, if they're really tiny, I throw them in this bag, just for when I want miscellaneous little bitty things. There's a little green butterfly. So I think I might just finish with those. So the first thing I'm going to do is the dress all the way around the edges. Now I think it's a good time to cut the top. It's just a little bit too wide for this, but I think I've got it. There we go. Because it was wide, it doesn't quite come out very good. Let's just chop this down.
You're not in camera, just in case you didn't know.
Oh no, I've got about an 8-second lag between anything I do.
Yep.
So I didn't notice that. Okay, so I'm going to put, these are the things I'm going to add to it. The green butterfly and the wax seal. and this green bit. Still need to cover up that piece at the bottom. I might put the green at the bottom. Oh, I was going to distress it. That's right. Let me just get that done.
While she's distressing, I do want to point out one of the things that everybody did, but we didn't really say it out loud because it's just part of what we do, is when we were placing the elements, you notice that every person found a way or looked for a way to get some texture in there. And what is texture? That can be ruffled paper or fabric or string or something hanging over the edge or a torn edge of the paper, rolled paper or rolled fabric, butterflies, any of those things that add a different texture or a different level of dimension. It could be a cut edge with fancy scissors. You know, maybe you don't want to tear it, but you like those fancy cut edges. All those things add texture, which adds the dimension that you're looking for that makes your project look complete.
I'm going to match the topper with that bottom piece of ribbon.
Glennis also got texture by stamping her background. That's the visual.
If you always put it in from the front like I did, you get that nice piece of flat piece at the front, which I like, instead of having it this piece at the front. I always think that looks more finished. And all you have to do is just remember to put that piece in. I'm going to put the butterfly up at the top. Just to have a little more interest, something to look at. My wax piece, now that I see it on here, I don't like the color, but I'm going to go into my magic bag here of goodies and see what I have that's a bit of text. Because it's black and green, I've been doing all my distressing in black suit. Normally I don't use such a dark one, but it just seemed to work for this one. That's pretty well finished, but what I want to do is go and get my Nuvo drops and put some Nuvo drops on it. So if you want to go to somewhere else, I have to go get those.
Perfect. Jen, you ready?
Sure.
Okay.
So I've been thinking, thinking. I like this dimensional piece here, and I know that the light is bright, so it's hard to tell. The only thing I did off camera was add a little bit more glue so that it was secure. And I found this piece of thread, and I showed it at the very beginning, but when I add this here, I add a lot of depth to this texture. And so I think I'm going to add that. I don't think it's finished after adding that, but I'm going to add it anyway. So I'm just going to...
You just keep going and do whatever finishing touches you want to do.
So I'm going to add that in here. And it may need more glue later. Just depends on how well fixed it is. I'm just trying to tap it down without getting a bunch of glue on my fingers right at first here. And I don't mind if there are loose bits, as long as they're not so long that they're going to catch on a bunch of stuff. So the next thing I was thinking about was when we finish and add tassels or whatever, I kind of wanted some texture with something else, a different kind of texture. So I have this folded piece of paper here, kind of like a paper ruffle. And in order to add dimension to that, I'm going to ink the folds. And if I were using a distress ink, it would be like what Glynis is using. It would be black soot. This just happens to be the archival because it won't move when I get it wet with glue, being the waterproof ink. So I'm going to set that aside. Now I'm just going to audition and see if I actually like it. So I was thinking about putting it here. Sorry, it's not focusing. So I'm going to think about that. I'm not going to glue it down just yet because I'm not really sure if that's what I want. I need an element here. And I have these charms. And for the shadow box we did, the vintage library one that ended up being the Sea Captain's one that I made.
Captain's Library.
I inked up a charm for that, and it really suits this space here. So I thought maybe I might put that there. And there's another thing I like to do, and I'm going to pull out my trusty little doodad. I really, oh, where'd my ink go? Uh-oh, alert, alert. That's black ink. Okay. Phew, I thought I was losing my mind. So I have some calligraphy ink here. I like to take and add dimension with this visual in some ways, like visual texture. And sometimes I will just grab, and this is harder because I want a lot of ink on this because I want it to bleed through stuff. I want to kind of emphasize this edge and add some contrast, and I want to emphasize the spot that's right here. And I just like to take this kind of further sometimes. And I may choose to doodle on this later and really get some stuff going, but that's sort of one way to add some in that area. And then I don't like to do it everywhere because then it sort of takes away from that. But I see that I could add a little darkness under here, which would kind of help some of this pop. And along this edge over here, and again, if we were not live, I'd be going a lot slower and taking my time with it because that's the way I like to work. And this edge here, underneath the edge of the dimensional pieces, and it really kind of makes them stand out. And there's a lot of ink on my dropper. There we go. Maybe I can just stretch that down here and make it run a little bit. And so there's 2 layers of things I'm going to do here. So the first layer is kind of going to be at the edge here. Oh, I added some on the corner. Oh, well, I'm going to go with it. And I want a little blob sticking out a little bit lower. And there's a reason for what I'm doing here. So I'm just looking for a little bit of organic shaping. I'm not really going for any specific shape. And I will do one more drop. Stay on the pen. There. And the reason I did that, and I need a dry Kleenex or a baby wipe. I learned not to use wet baby wipes on my dip pen because there must be a little bit of oil in it, because it causes the ink not to want to stay in the ridges. I decided that wasn't really what I wanted to do. So I have this calligraphy ink in gold. I think I'm going to add a little bit of dimension with this.
Oops.
You okay?
Yeah, I just went to grab my red ink and it fell down. That's okay.
You might have bumped your camera. Not sure.
There we go. This is a little bit thicker, so I'm just kind of trying to lay it down in a little bit of an irregular fashion around the edges here. And the reason I put the black down first is that I wanted it to sort of stand out against that. And then I'm just going to take this sideways and I'm going to roll down the edge here.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Oh, I need one of those.
Pen?
I don't have a glass pen.
You don't have a glass pen?
No.
I've got 22 of them. Just need to bring them out to a sale. You
Okay.
get first choice.
Orange.
Orange.
There's a really pretty orange.
And I'm really just kind of accenting some of the areas where I may cover up part of it later, but it's kind of just, I like how it draws the eye.
Yeah.
To all the different things that are happening here. There's a lot of stuff going on in the background. And the ridges are putting some interesting marks on here. Okay, so that's the front, and I'll probably, let's add some more right here. I could probably go on a lot like longer and be happy with it, but for the interest of time, I'm not going to go on and on and on. Okay, so now I'm going to turn this over without touching it. And the other thing I wanted to do, oh shoot, sorry, 1 second. Let me wipe this off, is I need the black again. I'm going to have to clean this with alcohol later because it's the calligraphy ink is thick and sticky. It's meant to be that way. This black, I wanted to sort of doodle on this by making some journal lines, but I don't want them to be regular. I want them to have a little bit of a regular shape to them. So they sort of look like maybe writing themselves. And I'm not really a write on the lines kind of person, but I don't mind putting it there as sort of a basis for, again, more visual texture. And then they can add like curlicues. Leaves are fun. So like little leaves like this. Where'd it go? Come on. It doesn't want to talk to me. Dots past the end of the line are nice. Oh, come on.
Oh, Doug's on.
Hi, Doug. And that dot was funny, so I just changed the shape of it. Just going with the flow here. And I have my lines are kind of crooked, so I'm going to purposefully make them crooked. So that when they look wonky on purpose. And then maybe I want a little heart or something. All right, so that's the doodle on the back. And then here's the doodle on the front. And I think I'm just going to take the excess ink on here and add a little bit of darkness up in this corner.
I like it.
And then maybe a little bit of darkness right here on this corner of the cardboard. Okay, and then last thing I might do, because I'm playing with inks today. These are actually new to me, so I'm really excited to use them. Is before I put on any topper, I'm going to drop her a splat or 2 or 10. Oh, it's really thick. And since I don't really want to touch this with my fingers because I haven't researched what's in it, I'm going to blotch. And I don't care if I get it on lots of stuff. And then I can blotch some more and remove some. There. All right. And so now what I'll end up with when I add this texture is that there's that visual stuff going on in the background. And this is it's a piece of plastic raffia. I don't know why anybody decided to invent plastic raffia, but I didn't want to put it in the garbage because
So
the
we
garbage
could play with
it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so, I don't like putting plastic in the air. So I thought I would take this and make sort of a ruffled topper out of it. And I haven't decided whether I'd like to cut a slit in the top of this and then like stick it through and just staple it on. So I'm just going to think about how I want to affix that. And then I'm going to affix this within this area down here. So there's journaling space on the back and just sort of a collaged mess on the front.
Cool. Will you think about it while we go on, because we are starting to run short of time, and we can come back at the end to see how you decided. DM, you're up.
Mm-hmm. So I did some cutting while we were watching everybody else, just so I could make this faster. I cut down another piece of this that was on the front of the actual sheet that tells you how to use this product. So what I want to do is I want to have them hanging from these outside. Let's see if I can find, we'll put it here. Stuff you should know. How about that?
Excuse me.
So I'm going to put it hanging on the outside of these. So they need holes. And this time I am going to go and put my smaller hole in it. Let's see, which pieces did I decide on? I also cut out this thing that says Music Maker because I'd like to see if I can use that. And Nugget, you're okay. And then I think I'll probably use that little thing right there. And I also pulled this from the game because I might want to cut out Icon and put it on the back of this. But let's go ahead and punch holes in this so that I can add them as little hanging dangly dangles. I think it was this one that I wanted there. This one, I'm actually going to do it from the corner so that they're hanging just a little bit different. Actually, I'm going to make a slip knot because it will be easier to change the length and put the length to where I want it. Nope, not that way. Yeah, let's just do this. So I'm going to put that on and I'm going to play with it. Where do I want it to hang? Below her. Let's see. of her. I think this one I'm going to keep short. And this one, maybe I'll just have them both hang a little long. So I'm going to do a double tie here where you go around 1, 2. Dr. Pimple Popper does that when she does stitches. I took it from her. And then I'll probably add a drop of glue there, and I'll end up cutting that little hanging thing off. Sometimes, if I really have time longer than this, I might add some beads to that end. Just to make the dangly more fun. How about that? That's what we'll call it. Okay, so I'm going to make sure that that is going to hang like that. And it does make a one single knot, and it doesn't really come out. It just stays right there rather than double knotting it. And there are other things you can do with these long things that are left hanging there. Whether you add another, like another music note, or you could do it doubled. But here's that. Now we're going to turn it over because obviously this is going to be swinging, so you're going to be able to see the back of this. I pulled this out because I think I took Music Maker out, right? And I think I might want to put Music Maker on the back here. But this is blank, and I've got to have something there or it's going to drive me nuts. So let's see if Icon is big enough. And yes, it's purple again, but we're not going to worry about it. And it does have the S, but I'm going to make it singular because she was an icon. And let's see if it fits there. You know what? It's good enough. That's what I say. Good enough. Oh, you know what? Let's see. I'm going to tuck this behind here just to give it a little bit more something else there. So let's see what we can do with what I had left over from there. If I rip this edge off, maybe stick that there. And then I also have this piece that, let's see if I put it like that there. And then I am going to cut around the icon so it's a little, you can see more of that stuff that I'm adding. Just a little bit to make it a little more defined. Sometimes I take the, and do this, or sometimes I just want it blocky. This time I think I'm going to make it sort of wavy or more distinct. There we go. I like that with the brown behind it. It gives it enough. So let's glue that on. Okay. So it says icon, and if it hangs over the front, it's okay. It really doesn't, actually. The Marvelous covers it up good enough. So then I'm going to add the Music Maker. Where'd they go? See, this is what happens. You lose everything. Here's one of them. And there's the other one. It got stuck to it. I'm going to put Music Maker here. Okay. Now in my head right now, I'm saying leave enough around them so that I can add some inking. And I'm also going to need to ink at the end, the the red edges on some of these things. So I've got to let that dry, but I do want to take my red pen. This is one that has a little bit of glitter in it. And I'll go around music and maker. And actually, I think I'm going to push them together a little more and do it more around the outside edge and do some doodling there, but it's got to dry. So that is what that's going to do. And I am not going to use this portion right here. I did find something else. I found the word knob, and it says the knob controls the volume. So I'm going to take this little thing here, and it's just something to add to it to make it, you know, you're just adding something a little cheeky to put that there. And I think that will go down here on the red, or maybe I should put it right underneath it. You know what? I'm going to put it right underneath. It's going to break the gold line, but then I'm going to take a gold pen and go around it like a box so that it looks like it was meant to be there. And then the one that says knob and noun and all that fun stuff, I think I'm going to cut that out too. And I think I'm going to put it between these two knobs. And once again, I'll end up taking gold pen once the glue is dry, or black pen. It depends on how it looks to me. I'm going to put it between these two because those both are knobs. And that's going to finish that. So this is going to hang from here. Now, it's going to dangle, and I've chosen to put these ball chain thing on it for to have them dangle. So let's put it together and see what it looks like. Now the back, I don't think I'm going to be able to leave it plain. So that's the front. I think what I should do here is, even if I just put a little thing here to dangle on this side to make it. So let's see. I think I'm going to cut this little thing here out. Actually, because it's so small. I don't like to cut small things, but we're going to do that. And then I'm just doing the clef sign here. There should be another triangle. There we go. I'm going to glue it onto the triangle. Actually, no, I'm going to put the triangle down first because I want to make sure I'm going to put it the right direction. I'm going to put it in this corner right here. No, maybe that corner right there. Yeah, I'm going to put it down in that corner, or that corner, to make them the same lines. I'll do it in this corner. This is just an accent piece. And then now I got to find that little tiny thing that I took off. I'm going to just add it to the corner down here. Okay. Okay, so that dresses that up a little bit. Once again, once the glue dries, I'll probably go over it with that. But now I'm looking at up here at the top. What if I put a hole in this and hung it? But let's see. What if I sandwiched it between these sort of gluey things? Hi, honey. I'm sort of teaching a class. Or I don't know what you want to call it. I do not have two of the small red ones, and I do not have two of the small big red ones. So I'm thinking if I do it in red and white, But then again, I could do it like this and stack them and then put the hole in this to hang from there, which might actually look really cool. So I think that's what I'm going to do. Stop barking, please. Thank you. So I think that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to take and I'm going to put the corners on here. I'm going to add the red on one side. And then I'm going to glue the whole backing. And then I'm going to put the white on the other side. Okay. And then I'm going to put the white center on this one, but I'm going to put it up towards the top. And I'm only going to put a little tiny glue drop on the back because if it dangles, it'll sort of be cool because I'm going to have put the hole through. You know what? Ugh. I am not going to do that. I'm going to do this first. Okay, bye. And I've got the small one still down. And I'm going to put the hole in these up there. But the other thing I'm going to do is I'm going to put the hole in these up towards the top also. And they'll sort of just dangle there on the back as little purtiness. Purdy. Let's see if I need to do that. So we have this on that side, and that's going to stay there. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to open the ring, the chain thing. I'm going to put the white on first backwards, because then I'm going to put the red down. Can you guys all see this? Yeah. Okay. I'm going to drop the thing down through. Come on, baby, go through. There we go. And then I'm going to drop the red side down so it's the opposite color. I think it works when you push it down, not trying to pull it up. Okay. And then I'm going to put the red one on. And it may be a little bulky looking, but I think it's sort of just a good addition to this because the front is sort of basic. I'm enjoying the extra bling on the back there. And, you know, I could have it sit here for a little while and decide, you know, maybe I don't necessarily need the one that's on the very back, or maybe I don't necessarily need, you know, the little red one here or the white one there. Maybe I just need, you know, the big one is okay. So that's what I would do other than, let's see how things are glued down. Next would be drawing, which I don't think my glue it's going to ruin my thing. So the next person can go up, and if anybody wants, if you want to go back to me and I'll do some doodling on it afterwards, the glue, I don't want to ruin my pens by getting glue on them.
Definitely not. All right, Sylvia, it is all yours.
Can you hear me? Did I add
Yes.
mic? Yes. Okay. So this is my crocheted lace for the topper. What I did for mine was I ran walnut stain over it just to darken it a bit. Ugh, I'm sorry. While I was off camera, I didn't want to deter anybody or delay anybody, so I used a fine tip black pen, outlined the little stars, whatever they are, ephemera. I also used my white glue pen, not glue pen, white gel pen. Thank you. English is not my first language. To accent the white dots and some of the scrolly things. Now, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take my Stabilo and I'm going to outline the dragonfly. Okay. And I'm not careful about this. I'm just going to outline her. She's a little raggedy, and so is the one that's putting all of this together. And I'm going to use my water pen to bring the Stabilo blackness up. And maybe it'll bleed onto the tissue paper. I don't know, but we'll see. I'm willing to let it happen. It doesn't matter. I'm just going to try to bring her forward. So I've outlined her. And now I'm going to take my water pen and just go over it. And we don't have to be gentle.
Thank goodness.
We women do so much with, and if we were to be gentle all the time. Yeah. So anyway, that's how it is outlined. Now I'm going to, because I want a little bit more, I've got my fossilized amber and a splat stamp, and I'm going to put some splats down, just a little bit more yellow over the vintage paper, not much, just
Great.
some splats. Later, I could probably outline them in black if I choose to with my Stabilo pen. While I was off camera, I also put this little fringe on this fringe that hanging over. So then on this side, it's going to be my journal card. So I did some lines and did what is that pen? The best gold pen that you ever did. The Deco. Yeah, the Deco color one that you got us. I love that pen. So I outlined the outside. And I'm going to now, because everything's dry on these little guys, it's little ephemera. I'm going to take my micro glaze, which is just like beeswax, but it's not. And I'm going to put it on top. If I had more time, I would put what's that stuff that we used that you guys did on a live? Crystal effects. Crystal effects.
Yeah. Oh.
So this is it's not beeswax, but it just brings out a little bit more of the colors that are on the paper with the gel pen and the black pen on it. And I'd be calling her done.
Sweet. She looks pretty awesome.
Yeah, then I can write on the other side. I might put something there. I can always outline that. Maybe another splat. I don't know. Depends. Still got room to play.
Yeah. Awesome. Thank you. Okay, so because we are at 8 o'clock, even a little over, while the last couple were doing theirs, I went ahead and started working on mine because we wouldn't have time to walk you through the whole thing, but I'll just show you what I did. I grabbed a little piece of fabric that I had in my bits and bobs things. There's usually scraps of fabric that I've stamped whatever images on. So I grabbed this little key, like the key to her heart. So then I got a heart charm. And so I used some sari silk as the topper, and then just put the heart charm. But I just wanted something a little more substantial there because it needs something up here anyway. So that little piece of fabric with the key works great there. And then, see, this is why we like everybody to post everything in the group, or not everything, but whatever you make, we love you to post it in the group because you never know who you are going to inspire. I have a whole container of wax seals sitting here, and I didn't even think about them. And Glennis pulled out a wax seal, even though she decided not to use it. If you'd posted a picture of that, I would have gone, oh, why don't I ever think about my wax seals? So I grabbed the wax seals, looked through them, and I had one that was just the right color. And I had already done the gold foil on the top, just like Sylvia. I just used the gold foil pen to go over the little fleur-de-lis on it and make that stand out. So that was perfect. So I did a corner punch, the scallop on the top, and I just did a rounded on the bottom. It doesn't quite feel complete. I did give it a little ink around the edge. I think I might want it to be a little darker, so I'll dig out my walnut stain. I feel like it needs something else, something up here, maybe even something over here, but I've got this butterfly that could go over here. It could go right there. I do have one more. I've got plenty more flowers and buttons that could go. So we could, you know, do a flower and a button down here, and maybe that butterfly up here. I'm not sure exactly what it needs, but, and this is where you've made the basic card with your 3 elements, and now all you're doing is finishing touches. So you can just grab things and look at them and see what you think. I put this one here, but that just seemed a little bit light. Everything is too light. So I put that one there. It's a little bit darker. I could look around and see what else I've got that might fit in there. And sometimes it even helps to take a picture of it and then look at it on your phone because it looks different. It helps me to look at it on the camera because it looks different. It looks like a picture. So when you look at it on your phone, then you go, oh, wow, that would, okay, maybe that doesn't go there. It feels like it does need something over there, though. Maybe it's right there. Maybe the butterfly is down there. I don't know. Maybe this one's up here, but then all the buttons are up on top. That doesn't seem right. Butterfly seems like he should be up there flying away. So maybe butterfly does go up here, partly off. Maybe he's even angled more to go off the edge there. And maybe it's not that. Maybe it's something else. Still feel like we need something down here, and I'm not quite sure at this moment what it is. But if I get to the point where I would be stumped, not sure what it is, then I will just let it sit on my desk like this. I'm thinking about putting that there, so I would put that there. If I was thinking about that there, I'd put that down there and walk away. And when I walk back tomorrow and look at it when it's on my desk, when I look at it, if it looks great and complete, then I know to glue them down. If I walk in and I go, wow, that butterfly seems out of place, then you know that's not a great place for the butterfly. So looking at it with fresh eyes a day later can really help you to know. Let's see. I kind of like this little tag. I wonder if I could just use this teeny tiny little hole clip and put this little tag down here. That makes me wonder if I should maybe not have I glued the fleur-de-lis down, the wax seal, but that could go right there, and that could be glued on the picture so it's holding that off of it. And it could even put a little button on that and could still put the butterfly up there. Now, then I think, am I overdoing it? Is that way too much? No? Is that just, it's overkill? I don't know. Probably have to leave it on and walk away, come back tomorrow. Because right now I'm thinking that's just too much stuff. Just cramming too much stuff in. Maybe it doesn't need all that. Maybe. Maybe the butterfly goes on the tag. But we've got that one, so don't need a tag up there.
I like your accent color.
That kind of teal.
Yes.
What do you think about something down here or not down here? Damn.
Your choice. I mean,
I know.
yeah, ask them.
It balances out the weight of the key to have a little bit of something in that bottom corner.
It does. I'm not sure what. So whether that's the right thing or not, and maybe it's because I've been looking at it now for 2 hours, I would just let it sit here, walk away, and I'll come back tomorrow. And as soon as I look at it, I'll know either I like the way it looks or this will look out of place. And if it looks out of place, I just move it. It kind of felt like there's just too many flowers with buttons. Putting another one. But
buttons and bows. buttons and
That
flowers.
might be just a small one up there, and then this down here, which is heavier. Yeah, something needed to balance that. And maybe even though I wanted to use that, maybe that's not. Maybe I should remove that. But then there's a lot of open space. Then
I was thinking if you removed the thing, you could move the butterfly up to where the key is.
remove the key and the butterfly.
And move that whole. Well, I was thinking the whole thing with the background and the little.
Oh, this.
Yeah.
Little tag.
Yep.
We'll glue the little tag up there on the butterfly.
No, having it dangle like the other one, closer towards the top of the tag.
Oh, have that dangle.
Mm-hmm.
So then
and then maybe move the key down. I would have put the key down and then move the key down.
The key could be hanging from this thing.
Yeah, because it's smaller.
So this wouldn't need the clip.
Right. It wouldn't need the clip, but it looks cute with the clip.
It is cute with the clip.
I mean, you could just clip it to the little piece of fabric that you have there.
Yeah, good. Clip it to the fabric and clip it to the paper.
Right. But so that's what I mean.
So let's see.
Sorry.
Because I thought about hanging a charm from this down here.
Oh, that would look really cute.
And then I thought,
actually, I like that with the key. I like that with the key, hanging it from down there. It will make it move. It'll make
And if I
move off the space.
Yes, exactly. Dangle into the air.
And this is why we want everybody to post, because
exactly. I just put a little island.
Constructive ideas and feedback are helpful.
Yeah, and if you guys are ever stuck on anything like that, that's what admin is here for. Ask a question. You can do it personally in a
and know that the feedback you get is always kind and loving and asking what you want. There is never anything negative or hurtful in this group. That's just not the way we roll.
Thank you.
I
just want to say one more thing. In my little naked corner that I had, I went into my word box and I found words that say, I can do hard things, and I stuck it in there.
Oh, so, I like it.
Yeah.
Well, that's cute.
And that's what comes with playing. You play, practice, repeat. Play, practice, repeat.
Yes.
Find a system that works for you and run it into the ground.
And if you don't have a system, take our system. Take our system right here and use it and see it doesn't work for you. And then you may get a feel for how you like to do things. Maybe it's a little bit. This is always a good system to start with, and you just add to it. But if
it's all you. It's all you.
It's just finishing touch embellishments. So I think I like that better. I think I like having this down here better. It just was awkward up there. It covered too much of that. Okay, so now
I see a camera on the left hand side. Yeah. Okay. Put that on the piece of paper that you have the little, it doesn't matter which, actually it does. I would put that dangling, either one of them, from the little tag that you have with the thing on it, and hold the camera on with the bulkhead. Or lengthwise probably. I mean, I would play with it and see which way it would look. Yeah, that's how I would do it. And then have that maybe dangling from the top. See where it hits on that. That's a little much now.
I think it works as a dangle. But
that's just, I mean, I was looking at that. But there is a lot of space up there. That's why I was thinking that big of a...
sometimes you get an element, you're like, I really want to use this. And in the end, you use something else because as much as you like it, it just doesn't work.
Right. Or even maybe like a run of buttons. If you put a
Oh, you know what? I had thought about a string of pearls, a run of
Wow.
pearls.
Ooh.
I know I've got,
Class it up.
I know I've got some smaller, but these are right here. And the end.
because they could just sort of dangle and wouldn't be too. They're not a lot. It's just just an accent. Accent aigu.
Did you want me to show the changes I made before we close, Marianne?
Sure. Yeah. Let me put you back on.
So when you left me last, I was toying with where to put the ship and how to put the topper on with this plastic. I ended up cutting a slit in that folded piece of paper so that I could have some of it on the back too. So I did that. I didn't like how bland this section was in color. So what I did was I took a little bit of the Uncharted Mariner and I put it on the back, just kind of rubbed it on there. And then I finished up some of the doodles on this here. And then the weight at the bottom of this was just not balanced in my, opinion for my work. So I found a scrap of fabric and then more of this plastic down here to kind of balance the color and the darkness. And then what I did after is I took a paintbrush and the gold ink and I did some more purposeful designs or decoration with the gold ink. I emphasized this edge here. I added some drippy looking streaks down here. And then I took a little bit of the gold ink and I blended it with the white and the Uncharted Mariner to make some more lost edges. So it wasn't all sharp and it really helped define this space against this background space and give it more dimension from the background to this next level. So that's, and then I added a little bit of the spray of color down here and just some black ribbon to I just glued it in and ruffled it, just shoved it underneath the thing there. So that's what I ended up with.
Very nice. Beautiful.
If you would like to switch to me, I'm putting some accents on right now. So what I've decided, here, let me get you down. The glare. What I've decided is that I have this little container of little blingy bling blings, and I'm just going to ring the outside of this in bling. I did ink around the edge of everything in candied apple. And depending on how many of these I use, doing the ring around Miss Billy, I may actually put some on the notes so they look like little, so they're not just black and clear, that they'll be a little blingy. And yes, I should be using something else to put these down, but I'll just use my fingers for now. So this is going to add to this. And so you can see what that's going to look like all the way around. So that added that. I also took and did a red marker on the middle of Marvelous. Now everything is glue is dry on this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do gold around the letters icon. And it's not perfect. I don't need it to be perfect. I just want them to be like, just not so bland, not so purple. So doing the icon there. The other thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take and look for my, I don't think this is the right one. Let's see. Nope, that's my orange one. So I'm just going to take and go around the edge here. This is supposed to be red glitter also. It's not as bright as I would like it, but it's what I have on my desk at the moment. Once again, if I come back tomorrow morning and it's died down and it's not as glittery as I like it, I will probably add either a second coat, something to that effect. And then I'm just going to put a dot in the middle of the red all the way around. So you're adding a little bit, because we've added the bling on the other side. We need the music maker to look a little blingy too. So we're going to use gold to ring around it because we put the icon in gold. So I guess I wouldn't be able to add any extra red around that, but oh well. So I will continue to put the blingy around Miss Holiday, and I will, oh, I know what else I was going to do. Because this broke the silver line, I'm actually going to make this right here. I'm going to use my gold pen, and I'm going to block around the saying so it looks like the gold line continues, so that it actually was originally there. So that adds, that sort of adds to that. And for this one, I'm going to do it a little differently. I'm going to go gold in the center here, from the touching from the gold to the gold on the other side of the knob. And then I'm going to grab my black one and take that and do it around so you can see it next to the gold. So that sort of brings that out too. All the glitter. The other thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take and do little shine marks around the as seen on TV. So it sort of, you know how things have like excitement marks around them. I'm going to put excitement around as seen on TV. Okay. On the back here, I'm going to put a bigger, I'm going to switch this to the bigger side, and I'm going to put a bigger black mark around this just to define it. Uh-oh, I don't know what that is. Sorry. Suppose I should take care of my dogs, huh? I'm going to put a black line there to define that also. And then on each one of these, I'm going to put a dot coming down between. Enough, girls. We're almost done. I'm just going to put a dot down between each one of those so that it's adding something. Now, along the edge here, it's really bland to me. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to run red around it and just to define it, and maybe put gold dots around it like I did. Where is it? Like I did there. So, and that will be done other than adding the bling to the Billie Holiday.
Hey, Glynis, would you like to show your Nuvo drops that you added?
Yep, I Added black Nuvo drops in the white here and dark green ones along here. I added antenna and some Nuvo drops to the butterfly, and I outlined the little saying there in black.
I like it. Like it a lot.
Just
Sylvia,
simple.
done a couple last things on yours. Want to?
Yeah, I put the words on. I put the words. I can do hard things. Does everybody have a box of words?
Yeah.
Yep.
Good.
Yeah.
This is one of our subscription boxes, and I cut out the thing, put a little clear plastic
there. A little acetate window on the top so you can see.
Yep.
Yes, sweet. I like it. Okay, so while you guys were doing that, I decided to switch out the jump ring for a bulb ring down here. So this is attached. Both of them are attached with a bulb ring. I went ahead and put the last flower up here. It still needed something. And up here, it did need something. So I just put a couple of Tic Tacs and the other corner of that one down here. So it's not,
yep. There you go.
Doesn't leave a big hole.
There you go.
I love how the wax heel turned out. It looks perfect there.
Yeah.
The color is good. It might have been almost seemed a little large. I had another one that is actually the exact same thing, except it didn't have as much wax poured on it, and so it didn't get the ring around it. It like stopped at that inside one, but then I messed up the gold on it, so I didn't want to take time to deal with that tonight, so I just went ahead and used this one. But overall, because it's a large tag, I think I agree with you that it turned out okay size wise, and everything's complementary, but they're not all the exact same color. That's a little lighter. This has both the green and the teal in it, which is why I went with a double tag or a double silk topper so that I could get some of the teal and the green, and then the buttons are, of course, different shades. This one's kind of a grayish, which is like if you kept this going lighter and lighter, it would almost go to that. So yeah, so there we are. So, we'll all even sitting on our desk, and some of us may come back tomorrow morning and look at it and go, I'm going to add this and add that. And that's okay. When it's done, when you say it's done, you're the creator. It's, you don't have to put as much stuff as we did. You could put twice as much stuff as we did. That is completely up to you. Margie has 2 Timmy words. Yes.
One more thing, because you mentioned earlier about taking pictures and looking at it. One other thing that you can do, and I use this a lot when I'm working on composition and balance, is you can take a black and white photograph, and it shows you where your darks and your lights live, and whether or not your piece is balanced in that way. And that's only really if anybody's worried about it or if they want to use it as a tool. So it's just a suggestion. But it's something I use a lot.
Great idea. To tell whether it's balanced. That's a really good idea.
Yeah. Thank you, Jen.
Something you learn in art class that those of us who've never had art class,
I learned it from my mom.
Thanks for sharing that. Margie says they are all beautiful, ladies. Beautiful.
Thank you, Margie.
Yeah, this was a lot of fun. What did you guys think? Those of you who are still in chat, was it helpful at all to get a formula? And was it helpful to be able to go in and listen in on each person as they walked through their process of making the tag? Did it help give you any ideas about process and new ideas about tags to make? Don't want everybody to run out of ideas. We have actually ideas for even a couple of more lives on tags, not to be done exactly like this. Each one would be done differently, but giving you multiple ideas of for tags. So if you like the idea of tag lives to give you more ideas, I keep saying idea, to give you more ideas of what to make for tags for the next couple of weeks, let us know.
Choices
of how to make your tags. Things, yes. We because we have a couple ideas for other lives doing tags if you're interested. Sarah says, thanks for all the ideas. Yes, this was very helpful.
Thank you, Sarah.
Thank you, Sarah.
She who makes beautiful tags. I love the variety of tags that we're getting. You know, I don't always feel like putting this much stuff on my tag. Sometimes it's a lot, sometimes it's a little. You know, who knows? It all depends on the mood that I'm in. So I like seeing the whole variety of tags in the group, and they are inspiring. They're all beautiful, every one of them.
Yes.
So thank you all for being here on the panel and helping me out. Look, you've made a tag for tomorrow.
Yes, I'm done.
Hey, you got one tag done there. I know you could have made a whole lot more, but guys, I told them that they could only make one tag tonight because we had to be able to walk through every step with them because we wanted to hear how they thought, what they thought, how they worked through that process. So thanks for sharing that with everyone. Thanks for being here to help me do that. I appreciate all of admin, everything you do, whether you're on here live or whether you're holding down the fort in chat. Really do appreciate that. And if you would give it a thumbs up if you found this helpful, let YouTube
And please
know.
comment. Yes, please
As
comment.
soon as we leave, you can come back and leave a comment. I am on top of the comments, so it'd be fun to have something to read and respond to. Thanks for coming, everybody. Have the rest of a great night. We will see you Saturday night. Actually, we're not going to do a Saturday noon. We will do a Saturday night live. It's been a long time since we did Saturday Night Live. It used to be every night, every Saturday night. So we'll see you Saturday night for a Saturday Night Live. Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.